Hi, I'm Rick Simmons, Professor of Law at The Ohio State University Moritz College of Law, and I'm the co-author of Learning Criminal Procedure. Our casebook is different from other casebooks on the market because, like the rest of the Learning series, it doesn't use cases to teach the law. Instead, it tries to essentially explain the law to the students in as clear a way as possible. So, for example, each chapter starts with a brief introduction that explains the policy behind the rule and puts the rule in context. Then we give the students the rule in very clear, concise language, and we focus on certain terminology that might be confusing and explain that terminology. And then we have a section called Applying the Law, where we use a number of case excerpts to explain how the law is applied in practice. It shows the scope of the rule, it shows the limitations of the rule, and shows students how this law is used by courts in different fact patterns. Finally, there's some review questions at the end of each chapter, and then at the end of each chapter we also have some extended case excerpts in case the professors who really do want to use cases to have students read the cases and see how the law was actually originally derived by the Supreme Court.
Hi, my name is Renee Hutchins, and I'm on the faculty at the University of Maryland Carey School of Law, and I have co-written the book Learning Criminal Procedure. One of the wonderful things about the layout of this book and about the layout of the Learning series as a whole is how easy it is to read. And so there are a number of different text features that the series uses that makes it easy on the eyes, so to speak. So cases in the discussions of cases and case summaries are clearly identified. Summaries of the rules are clearly set out in text boxes. We use icons to demonstrate when the law is in flux or when a practitioner might do well to argue the facts of their case to make the point more clearly. We also use clear sections and similar sections throughout every chapter so that the format of all chapters is consistent, so that students who are wrestling with the material for the first time will be able to understand exactly where they are in the chapter.
This casebook is part of the Learning series. Learning series is a series devised by Debbie Merritt, which intends to give the students the information that they need directly and clearly without having to make the students read through the cases to derive the law. The idea behind the Learning series is that by the time the students reach the second year, for example, they already know how to read cases and know how to derive law from cases, and so it's not really efficient to force them to read the cases and understand law that way. Instead, the Learning series idea is to give the students the information directly and let them understand the law immediately upon reading the cases and the law. And then when they come to class, they can spend the class time doing other things, such as student exercises or more in-depth topics, whatever the professor wants to use the class time for. But the idea behind the Learning series is that there's no need for students continually throughout the law school career to keep reading cases and learning things through the case method. The book also comes with an extensive teacher's manual. A lot of potential adopters wonder what they might do in class because the book itself really does teach the material so clearly and so well to the students that when students come to class, they already know the rule of law that you might have been teaching in class before. And so what the teacher's manual does, it provides you with a number of suggestions about what you can do in the classroom. For example, there's dozens of student exercises you can use. There's answers to the review questions. If you want to use the review questions as part of the assignments, you can discuss those in class. And there's a lot of discussion about more advanced topics than are covered in the book that you can go over with the students now they understand what the rule of the law actually is.
I love being a lawyer. And so I love the opportunity to teach students how to love the law too. I tell my students all the time that being a lawyer is one of the best professions in the world. And if you can find a segment of the law that you care about, that getting up every day and doing is something you would do for no money, then you found it. And there are so many areas of the law like that. And so being a professor allows me to teach students that same passion and to get them to care deeply about the rule of law.
What I like most about being a law professor is working with students. I like the idea of students coming in at the beginning of each semester, not knowing material, and me being the facilitator, me being the one who leads them through this sort of adventure to learn how the law actually works. And the best part of being a professor is the end of each semester when I can actually see how much they've learned about what I've taught them and know the part that I played in sort of showing them how the law actually works.